Hello everybody and welcome back to another class video from the Beautiful You class. Now this one we're going to be making today, or for this video rather I should say, is this adorable box made using the window box thinlits dies with a little magnetic clasp to hold that lid nice and secure. Alright, so to begin with, you will need, let's get all my bits and pieces, 2 of the die cuts for, whoops, excuse me, just getting my bone folder, 2 of the die cuts for the window box thinlit dies. Now you need to, whoops, burnish all those little score lines all the way around the box, like so. You're going to go right the way around. Oops, make sure that one's straight. Oh, it's very windy today. I don't know if you can hear that wind outside my craft room. It was a very loud blast just then. I think we've got storm something or other coming over, or it is over. Not entirely sure. Maybe it is over. Maybe that's why it's so windy. That would make sense, wouldn't it, actually? Yes. Right, these little flaps, they are a little bit fiddly, but fold them all over. So that's one done. On the other one, actually I should have done this before I started filming, really, shouldn't I? That would have made much more sense. Never mind. It helps you to see how to get them going, doesn't it? Now with the other one, we need to fold those pieces, those little tabs. You need to fold your sides like that. And you also need your bottom ones. But once you've done those, the other two that are left, these 2 side ones, let's get rid of that. You don't need those. So just grab your scissors and just cut them off. The score line's there, so you can follow that score line so you know where to cut. But just cut those off because they're not needed. Whoops. Make sure I do it straight, otherwise I'm going to have a wonky box. There we go. Right, so get rid of those. Now let's put our box together. People put these boxes together in various different ways, so I'm going to show you the way I do it. You may find that you prefer to do it a different way. I know some demonstrators that don't start at the bottom like this, they start at the sides or at the top or various different ways. But I always go for that bottom tab first, and I use that tab to line up. So that becomes sort of my guideline, I suppose, if you want. I just want to make sure it's stuck nice and firm, because that one has to be stuck down, because that is going to give me the shape for the rest of it. Now, once I've done that one, I'm going to go for these 2 here. So I can fold that up and stick those down. Whoop. Stick that one down there. Make them nice and sticky. There we go. Now I've got left 2 tabs here and 2 bottom ones, which is why I cut these ends off, because that is now going to fold round and stick down. So let's do one side at a time. So a little bit of glue there and a little bit of glue there. Now I'm using the Tombow multi-purpose glue to stick this down. Obviously use whatever adhesive you want, but I find this one is really good because it holds nice and firmly. It keeps my box in shape. You could actually use the fine tip glue, because where that's got such a pointy end on it, you'd be able to get these little tabs stuck down nicely. I'll be honest, I really think they should have made these tabs a bit bigger, because they are quite fiddly sometimes. There we go. Let's stick those down there. So I'm just pop the side open. There we are. Right, so that's my box is now made with my top tabs that will all tuck in nicely. So I'm going to pop those in because now I want to actually put this edge on. Now when you put the edge on, try and remember where your back and your front is, which is why I've closed mine, but I'm keeping the front towards me so I don't forget. What I want to do is stick this so it goes right the way round, but with the join at the back. Now the good thing about this box and this, someone actually thought about this very carefully, which was very much appreciated, because you can use one strip of 12-inch paper, which the majority of papers are, and it will fit right around the circumference of your box perfectly. So whoever thought of that and worked that one out, thank you. Really appreciate it. Now I'm going to glue it right the way around, but I'm going to start off just putting some glue on part of it. So remembering where my back is, which is here. No, I haven't actually folded it yet. This is why I've only put glue on part of it. So I'm going to pop that end down, line it up so it's nice and straight, and then see when I fold it bulges out, but that's okay because as long as I've got that end in, I can then just run my fingers along that edge to put a fold. You see? Whoops! Try not to squish your box if you can. If you end up with a squish box, hang on, let's put my box back together again. That's it. So just run your fingers or your nails along that edge just to secure it down. Oh dear, look, I've done it again. Actually, let's just give that bigger pinch. There we go, as soon as it's opened up. Right, now I can continue going round. Let me just close this again. That's that. Let's put some more adhesive on this bit that's now left over, because that's going to, oh my goodness, it's where I'm holding it, isn't it? If I hold it like that, that's probably better. There we go. You could, if you wanted to, you could measure it and score it all, but to be honest, there's not really any need because this does work. It just takes a little bit of manhandling. There we go. You see how it joins up so nicely at the back? Look at that. Perfect joining. So like I say, whoever actually worked it out properly, thank you. Now, if you have used Tombow before, you will know that it's very sticky, which is great because that's what you want, is a sticky glue. However, when you get it on your working surface like I have there, it causes a bit of an issue. So if you just bear with me a second, I'm just going to go and grab another bit of grid paper so that I can cover it up. I'm just going across the room and delving into my drawer. There we go. Because otherwise I'm going to end up getting sticky on stuff that's not supposed to be sticky. And that will get me in a mess. Whoops, let's put those on there. Right, that's better. Let me just, so if I stick that down, yay, it's stuck. Good, that means it's not going to slide away everywhere. Right, so we have done our box. We have covered our box. Now by covering it as well and using the wet glue rather than double-sided tape, once that's dry, it's going to make it nice and firm. So you're going to have a nice solid little box going on. Now then, for the top bit, you will need a length of ribbon. Now I have got here 30 inches, I think, of this Dapper Denim Ruche ribbon. Yes, I've got a piece of 30, it's 30 inches long. I'm going to be using most of it, not all of it, but I always like to have too much rather than too little. And the way this is going to work, gets a little bit jiggy here, because our doily is going to sit on the top, okay? Our ribbon is going to start off under that doily, okay? So what I'm going to do is, if I can find my fast fuse, because I want this to be super strong. Oh, hang on, where's that gone? Wait a minute, just got to grab that as well. Well, I would if I could find it anyway. Oh, there it is. Whizzing across the room there. There we go. Right, drop the ribbon. Dear, what a palaver. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to put some fast fuse on the end of that ribbon. So I'm just going to, whoops. It's not the easiest things to do because it's so sticky, this stuff, but it's brilliant. Right, now that is going to begin about, I don't know, about halfway across and in the middle. All right, keep it in the middle and just stick that down nice and firmly. All right, now this is where we start to get a little bit clever, and I will warn you, it does get a little bit fiddly, okay? What you need to be doing is this ribbon is going to come down like this, it's going to loop back, and it's going to go right the way around, and it's going to meet here, okay? Did you see how I did that? All right, so your ribbon is coming towards you. It's already stuck in the middle. The opening of the box is at the front still. It's going to come down, loop back and over itself, go right the way around, and come up to meet. Okay? Yeah? Right. What we need to be doing is we need 2 teeny tiny magnets. Now I use these ones here, which are very small, very strong. And what I'm actually going to do is, they are perfect size to go on the glue dots. Now I get these from a company in the UK. I'm not sure where you'll be able to get them, but they are 8mm by 1mm, and they're called neodymium magnets. I think that's how you pronounce it anyway. They're really strong, and they're absolutely perfect for this kind of a project. What you do need to do is obviously make sure you got your polarities right, because they need to be able to stick to each other, not repel each other. So I'm going to put one on my box. It's not stuck anywhere, but I'm just going to pop them so that I can make sure I've got them centered on my ribbon and I'm round the right way. That's important. I want them to be about halfway down the side of the box. About there. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a glue dot, stick it onto the back of that magnet, and then I'm going to fold my ribbon over it, because now that magnet is stuck to my ribbon. All right, the other one's still on the other side, but that magnet is stuck to the ribbon. Okay, so now I've done that, straighten it out a bit. Now I can start going backwards. Okay, now on this one I've done the ribbon so it goes over the top, but I'm actually going to go underneath this time, because it worked a bit easier on another one that I did recently, so I'm going to go back over that way. Be easier for you as well, believe me. So I need another bit of fast fuse on the ribbon so that when I fold it back, it's going to hold it in place. Now it's going to be covered up, so don't worry about what it looks like, you won't see it, but it's going back on itself, and I want it to be in the middle of my box lid. Okay, whoop. Try not to squish your box lid if you can help yourself. Right, so there we go, in the middle of the box lid. Now this bit is still baggy, again, that's fine, don't worry, we're going to sort that out in a minute. But I want that, let's just straighten up a little bit. I want that in the middle, on the top, going in a nice straight line. Okay, so now it's going to come around the back of the box. You could stick it down if you wanted to. I'm not going to, not there, but I am going to stick it again underneath to hold it in the right place. How much do we need? Do we need it about there? I'm not going to put loads on, just going to put just enough fast fuse to hold it together. Just going to pick those bits off of there. And again, I want to make sure I'm nice and central. Now, when you're doing this part, you keep your box closed. Have your magnet going down, all right, because what we're going to do is we're actually going to meet up with that, all right. So if you hold it there with your hand, like I say, it does get a bit fiddly this, but hold it there with your hand, and then you can line up the ribbon where you actually want it to go. If I was really clever, I could have actually put that join under the ribbon, couldn't I? But never mind. So I'm sticking it down there just to hold it in place. All right, so this bit's loose, this bit's stuck, and then we've got this loose bit here. Okay, now the ribbon needs to come up, and we need to stick this onto this. So what I'm going to do is, again, it's going to come back on itself, so I'm forming another loop here, and I'm going to have it so that it goes over like that. So this little magnet here is actually going to be stuck onto the ribbon again. You could, if you wanted to, just stick it to the box. It's entirely up to you. I'm just going to stick it on the ribbon because, well, that's where I want it to be, really. So another glue dot. It's quite a complicated little closure, this, but once it's done, it works really, really well. Another glue dot. I'm going to pull my ribbon up straight. Now this time I'm going to hold it up and just hold it to the side because I want to make sure it's in a straight line, but obviously I don't want to stick it to the back, I want it under there. So just going to hold it up, and then I'm going to fold it over, stick it down. Now I'm not going to pull it apart because that will pull the magnet off of the ribbon, because as I said, these magnets are incredibly strong, so I'm just going to prise it apart with my pokey tool like that. Come on. Oh, maybe my fingers. There we go. Right, so that has now stuck onto there. Okay, and I want another glue dot on the back of it. Just on there, and this time I'm just going to fold the ribbon straight over like that. All right, and then snip off the end of that ribbon, which you're not going to see. We're going to hide this in a minute. All right, whoops. Look, I stuck to my scissors. Get off my scissors. Okay, so our magnet is now hidden under there. Another bit of fast fuse. Oops. Hang on, fast fuse doesn't want to come out. Oh, it's gone sticky and yucky underneath there. Don't want to put that in my coffee cup either. Hang on, just got to unstick the fast fuse. Ah, there we go. You could actually use just adhesive glue if you wanted to for this part, but as I've got it to hand, I'll use the fast fuse. And I'm just going to pop that in place, stick it down firmly, so that now we have the closure coming in. All right, yeah, okay, so that's the ribbon where I want it to be. Now I want to cover everything up, so I want to cover up all the mechanics. So what I've done somewhere is I have another, there it is, another Night of Navy heart. So I'm going to stick that over the ribbon so that when the box is open, you can't see that ribbon join underneath there. All right, you could obviously, if you wanted to, you could fold it back on itself, you could tuck the ribbon under the paper. There's various ways of doing it, but I just wanted to keep it as simple as possible. Once you've got the hang of doing this, then you could start hiding things in different manners, but this just keeps it nice and easy. All right, so I've hidden it under that heart there. Then I'm going to close it. Let's make sure my ribbon is straight. There we go. And now I'm going to put a glitter heart over the top, and that is going to finish off that little clasp like that. All right, so you've actually got magnets sandwiched between glitter, between card, between ribbon, and that creates your closure. Make it look pretty. I'm just going to thread a bow on. So the bow is going underneath the ribbon, because this is going to stop that ribbon separating. So don't tie it too tight, because as you can see, as you pull it, it distorts the ribbon underneath it. So you don't want to go too strong with this ribbon. Just get it into a nice bow. A loose bow is fine, it's not going to come apart. That's one of the things that's so good about this ribbon. It just holds itself for you, and you don't have to worry about it unraveling. There we go, now I know where I'm going. I can fiddle about with it a little bit more. Get it where I want it to be. Like that. And then just snip off my ends. Okay, so that's the closure bit done. Now the top of the box is very simple from now on. Place your doily down first. Don't worry about sticking anything, don't need to stick anything. Actually, let's open it up and do it this way round, because that will be a bit easier. I hope you can see this okay. So place your doily down, line up where your doily is going to go. So centre it on your ribbon, on your box, make sure it's in the right place. Then you want, oops, a circle of craft that measures 2 inches in diameter. Pop some, whoop, come on glue. Pop some glue on the back of that. Now I'm using quite a bit on this piece because I want to make sure it's going to stick through the doily, onto the ribbon, onto the top of the box. So it's got quite a lot of work to do, hence there's quite a lot of glue on there. Pop it in the middle of your doily. Just hold it down just for a few seconds to let it set. And then that is going to hold the doily in place, and it's going to hold your ribbon in place and give you a nice solid lid as well, because we put the wet glue under that circle. All right, there we go. That's really cute, isn't it? I do like that. Right, so we've put one on. Now you need a, how big is this one? This is 1 3/4 inch gold glimmer. And then, actually let's stick that together first. Where's that piece? Oh, there it is. I want a piece of white. And I'm going to put the So Happy For You, because we've done celebrate on the card. Where is it? There it is. So we're going to do So Happy For You on our gift box. All right. So ink it up. Just, oh dear, didn't do that very well at all, did I? Hang on, let's do that again. Let's flip it over. That's better. Do you know why I did that? It was because I was doing all this kind of action. That's why it went like that. Now I need my 1 1/2 inch punch. I'm just going to line it up in the centre. Punch it out. And then this is going to be stuck onto our gold glimmer. I'm trying to pick it up without getting glue all over my hands. So centre it on your gold glimmer. It will move about a bit to begin with because the glimmer obviously is not a completely flat surface. It's quite rough because you've got the glitter on it. So just pop a bit of pressure on it just for a few seconds. Grab your dimensionals. And then we're going to put a couple of dimensionals on the back. And then this is just going to, oh dear, I've gone a bit wonky with my sentiment there. As I was leaning on it, it moved. Now, that's it. So that can now go on there. Let's just stick that down nice and firmly. And there we go. There is our finished box with its gorgeous magnetic closure to match our card. There you go. I hope you enjoyed making that with me. Don't forget to check the other videos and come back very soon and make your next project. See you later. Bye.